Good afternoon, Bob Georgiou, Remax Accord here with another rolling real estate report for Pleasant Hill. This is the last week of September 2024. Roll the intro. So this month, Pleasant Hill's looking pretty good. We just had the interest rate reduction last week, so these numbers do not reflect a full implementation of that change in the market overall. So we are just looking at pretty much the closing days of the prior interest rate and the July market conditions. I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the single-family home analysis and overview, but for now we're going to talk about condominiums and townhomes, and we are looking at a market that is looking pretty good, fairly stable in Pleasant Hill. Median price is $639.5 with the inventory on the decrease in the near term. Market times are on the increase, but this does reflect a slowing market in July and into August. Based on changes of expectations and changes inside the market with regards to the buyer's agent settlement. I do expect this to turn around over the next couple weeks as we have hit the prime buying season in this area, though it's been a little bit delayed, and the market is still a strong seller's market. Inventory is generally flat, with 1/3 of the market still having to reduce in order to find a buyer. And the price per square foot is also holding at its current levels. So overall, it's been a fairly decent seller's market. It is important to note that the inventory has only been trickling higher. At one point, at the very low in part of the market in the first quarter, we were at a whopping 5 units of inventory per week, and that has increased to an average of 15 per week today, and that's been over a 6-month period. So hard to say 15 units of inventory is a neutralizer in the market and changing the market anything from more of a seller's market than what it is right now. It's not even a flat market. It is currently still a strong seller's market. Even into the headwinds that we've seen over the last month and a half, and that's not likely to change until the fourth quarter at the very soonest. In the single-family home market, we are seeing the median price of single-family homes slip a little bit. This has been the global trend because of higher interest rates and a slowdown in the market in July. Since we are in the late season push, we will begin to see those numbers go back the other way. Don't expect them to change wildly in either up or down, but it is notable to see that the price per square foot is on the increase, which means that the bottom end of the market is being pushed by buyers that are still in this market. Inventory is holding at right around 32 units. That's been steady for the last couple of months. Median days on the market is also on the increase, but this also reflects July and early August market changes. And the median has consequently also been pushed in the upward direction, but this also has to do with the July holiday season and the changes that were going on in early August, which have had a generally short-term cooling effect that's showing up here in the numbers. But as the market is beginning to adjust to those changes and are beginning to feel a little bit more comfortable with what's going on, and the buyer's agents begin to adapt to the new process, I do expect things to get our late season push here through the month of September and into October, as those numbers begin to affect the overarching 1,000-foot trend. So the question is we talked about this in the Walnut Creek video, but the question is what is going on in the market that's affecting Pleasant Hill? Pleasant Hill is a little bit of an outlier with regards to the rest of Central Contra Costa market, because it happens to be the point where the Alameda and San Francisco buyers will stop looking. They won't go beyond 680. We've said this over the last couple weeks in the Pleasant Hill videos. That's going to be a fixture in our market moving forward as long as other factors don't affect the market. But what's been happening is that the Oakland and Alameda market have also seen a large increase in inventory. So buyers that would normally be coming this way in droves in June, July, and August, those that held off until after the vacation, they're now taking a look around, coming back from their vacations, looking at inventory, comparing inventory in Oakland, Alameda, Berkeley, and the Alameda side, and comparing it what they can get here. So some of our buyers have, I wouldn't say we've lost the buyers, because there's still plenty of buyers coming in this direction, holding the market up. But what it is just slowing the market down, because now the buyers have choices. And you know, this doesn't happen overnight. They look 1 week in Alameda, one week in Berkeley, 1 week in Oakland, and then come out here to Pleasant Hill and then weigh their options, then start going back and forth between the areas while their houses may sell if they have them, or just as their situations change. Buying a house is usually a couple months process, generally speaking. So these sorts of changes in the market will be quickly seen in terms of a downswing, and then we'll recover slowly as those buyers adjust. One of the other factors we were looking at is it seems as though some of the buyers were waiting for the interest rates to drop. I am beginning to see some of the buyers that were interested in my listings, and some of my buyers just kind of generally get all of a sudden excited with the interest rate drop and getting a little bit more frisky about getting their financing in order and getting out and taking a look at properties. So this interest rate change has had a general positive effect on the market, which one would naturally assume, just kind of generally. And over the next couple of months, as the interest rates continue to decrease, I do expect those changes to impact the market for the better. The market right now is currently significantly different than the market pre-July. Buyers are doing a lot more tire kicking, a lot more shopping than they were beforehand. Now that they know that they have choices, as I just mentioned, and knowing that the interest rates are only going to go down, some of them are holding off to their own peril, because what's going to happen here is once the interest rates drop again and drop again, there's going to be more competition in the market, and the sellers will see some positive improvement in the prices, even though it'll just add to the variance. It'll get all lost out in the wash because of the low inventory situation we have here overall. We're a long way from a buyer's market. We're probably on the cusp of a neutral market, and these interest rates are just going to be a factor that will have increase the volatility within the real estate market over the next 45 days. Of course, and we've mentioned this in other areas and in other videos in Pleasant Hill, the buyer agent lawsuit. We are now a full month into that, and we are beginning to see the agents beginning to get more comfortable with the process, and it looks like the buyers' expectations are falling in line with the agents that are doing what we've been directly asked to do as part of this lawsuit. What we should be doing overall is to have buyers sign in with an agency agreement that says that coming to the open house, we agents are representing the sellers exclusively, so ask your questions, and unless you request agency from the listing agent, it is a seller's agent situation, and the relationship that we have is for the individual agent to be representing the seller until something is documented between buyer and seller that changes that relationship. There are a lot of agents that are not doing this still. As somebody who is doing it the way we're being asked to do it, I can tell you it is a very cumbersome process, and the paperwork that we've been asked to fill out doesn't really match what's going on in the street. So I expect to see some of those changes into the paperwork probably 6 months from now, maybe even 8 months from now, whenever they get around to understanding what we're currently dealing with in terms of buyer perception with this buyer agent lawsuit thing going forward. Generally speaking, most sellers are still providing some sort of consideration to the buyer's agent the way agency was performed prior to July and prior to all this lawsuit. This is obviously good for buyers because it lowers their out-of-pocket costs and makes it a little bit easier for the buyer to buy the property, generally speaking, because it does the dollars we're talking about, at least in this area, for most pieces of real estate being $500,000 plus, whether it be a condo or a single-family home. The dollars are significant, and a couple percent is $5,000 to $10,000, and those numbers are real, especially to somebody who's making $150,000 a year. That's a month's worth of income. So having the buyer's agent consideration is a strong marketing tool, and the sellers that continue to do that will have an upper hand on their non-cooperating competition where applicable. Again, I am going to do a full video on buyer's agency here. I'm currently looking for the information. Most of the stuff comes from the agent's renewal information, and we will be taking a look at that here in the next couple of weeks. So let's do a little look around Pleasant Hill, see what sold this week, see what closed, give you a little swath of the market, let you know what's going on here, and take a look at this house right here. This one is the lowest price sale in Pleasant Hill this month. We're looking at Masolo Court, popular little condominium complex, centrally located, easy access to everything that Pleasant Hill has to offer, transportation, the mall, downtown. Not quite walking, but it is walkable. And we're looking at 973 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Nice little unit. Very popular. And let's see if we've got anything notable on this property to comment on. It updated kitchens and baths. Pretty much standard for this market. Vaulted ceiling, so it was a second floor unit. And the HOA dues, let's see what the HOA dues, since that's a big factor in the financial viability of a complex. HOA dues are $390, so a little bit on the low side. Make it a little bit more marketable. Listed at $495, sold at $480,000. Let's go to next. Courtson, the other end of the spectrum. This is a 3-3 sold off MLS, determined by the fact that the agent didn't leave any public or private comments. So when the sign went up or at the marketing meeting, a little networking, sold this property. 2,150 square foot in the Rogers Smith Park area. Again, popular neighborhood. Easy access to, easy drive to everything that Pleasant Hill and Lafayette have to offer via Gregory and, what's the name of that road? The Gregory and Taylor Boulevard. Can't say much more about it because I don't know much more about it, but it listed at $165 and sold at $1,725. Not bad for off market. Price Lane. Now this one, I have some experience. Sold it a long time ago. Then it sold, and then it sold, and now here we are. Current owner remodeled the property, put in a gate. It is on a flag lot. Nice property, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, centrally located in Pleasant Hill, with top schools and walk to charter school. and also a flat 1/3 acre lot. Home when it last sold was in its original condition. Updates were getting a little bit long in the tooth. It was not an original house when it was originally purchased and sold, but the current owner did do a complete remodel on the property, kitchen, bathroom, living space with all the bells and whistles, and did a real nice job with it. Price sale was $775, so the owner did pretty well on that. $400,000 over a few years. Marcia. Had a lot of activity in this little corner that is now Marcia. There were 3 sales in this little pocket. One was at $779 or $799, sold at $825. 3 sales in this pocket. First one started at $825, dropped to $799, sold at $790. Then this one, which was completely redone, the nicer of the two, which was a few doors down, $815 list price, sold at $845. Both of those 2 homes were 1087 square foot, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And there was the third one in this neighborhood. Backed up to the busy street. The other 2 did not, but it was also a bigger house. It was 1,500 square foot, and also a 3.2, not a 3.1. Listed for $960, sold right at $1 million, which is a really nice price for something that backed up to a busy street. Completely remodeled, pride of ownership property. So the middle property on Marcia here was also cosmetically updated. It was only 3.1. It was a beautiful, cute little house, really punching up. Nice gray cabinetry. Lots of updating. And just all around a pleasant house. Being the middle point probably reflects more of what's going on in the neighborhood at $845. And I think that's a reasonable price for that. It's a walk to the nearest Starbucks, shopping across 2 blocks away. Easy access to Walnut Creek, down Hookston and Bancroft. Pleasant Hill the other way, out down Buskirk and the freeway. And then this also has easy access to the Pleasant Hill BART station, going through the back roads down Buskirk. So still has it has Concord schools, but it does have access to the charter school along with the other 2. That's a shared amenity there. And now this one is a real nice little house. So that's not a lot of inventory in Pleasant Hill, so not really kind of a lot to do a cross section with. We'll take a look at this next month, see what get a few other new neighborhoods in here. Keep the process moving forward. Thank you very much for checking out my video. Like, share, subscribe. My name is Bob Georgiou with Remax Accords, Central Contra Costa Real Estate Agent, Walnut Creek, Danville, Concord, Pleasant Hill, Martinez. My information is down below. I appreciate you taking the time to check out this video, and we will see you in escrow. In the meantime, have a great week.